So I'm 35 miles away from home on another farm that I acquired from the county, and I'm just kind of wandering around getting a feel for the place. And this is called the Crystal Springs section of the Teetertown Reserve. There's ponds and there's weird stuff like this, which is just there's a tank down there, and it goes through this spring, and I don't know, it's like a septic tank. I don't know whether this is some kind of a poor man's attempt at a septic tank or whether it has something to do with water. I got Timothy, he's up there planting grass, and I decided to take a walk because, you know what, he can plant. So that's where we're at. We're way the hell out of our home territory, and because I'm always expanding, going out farther and farther. But I'll give you a little story about these places. When the county when the county buys a property, they don't want buildings on it. They're not in the maintenance of buildings business. So they'll just buy the property, tear down the buildings, and restore it to its original condition. Less the roads and stuff, because here's a road, and I'm not sure who uses it. It's probably just the county guys or the county parks guys. So you're allowed to walk everywhere. That field there just so happens to be farmed by my next door neighbor. He comes all the way up here too. I didn't know he was here. There's actually a bale of his, or the remains of one. Why it got stuffed in there, I don't know. Little pig. Anyway, so when I bid on this property, he called me up and he's like, "What the fuck, man? You're taking my ground." Which isn't true. I'm not taking his ground. You know, with ponds come bugs. But anyways, that field there, he claims it's 60 acres. I wouldn't peg it any more than 32. But up in here somewhere is where the home site was, and I'm going to get up in it. Well, you can see the farther up here I get, the more junk there is. There's junk and stuff. Here's some kind of, well, there's wires. Yeah, I'm really surprised that the scrappers hadn't gotten a hold of this stuff, you know? Because people just scrap this stuff. But there's wires here. So I'm just kind of on a expedition up through here to see if there is actually any buildings left. I don't know. I know I'm going to end up there because there was I think the house and stuff was up there. Matter of fact, I'm almost 100% certain. But we're actually on top of a mountain. It's called the Schoolies Mountain. There's water running everywhere out of this mountain. They call it the Teetertown Preserve. This is the Crystal Springs. I think I've said that twice already. And Crystal Springs has a obvious name. It has springs on it. But yeah, I'm just wondering where this goes. I mean, it's got to go someplace. You're not supposed to drive your vehicle back here. It says authorized personnel only. So I might get back here, and there may be somebody here. I don't know. But there's another pond. I'm going to go over there. This is where they turn around, I guess. Yeah, well, might as well just walk down here. Yeah, I'm just taking you all for a walk, you know, while Tim's working, which is okay. It's nice. I'll get down this pond and I'll turn it back on if I see anything. So we're going to go with things that are interesting now. I found something interesting, and I don't see what. Ooh, there's a soup right there. We got beavers, but I don't see the lodge. Oh, maybe the lodge is over there. I don't know. I could see something over there. Let me zoom in. Maybe I can get it to zoom. That could be the beaver lodge there. But beaver lodges are generally out in the middle of the ponds. I don't see a beaver. I see there's fish. You can see them jumping. This is really nice. I could go fishing here. This is really cool. Yeah, so I don't have much time to go fishing, but if I was going to go fishing, yeah, you can see where the little beavers have been chewing on the smaller branches. I don't know that they eat them as a diet. I think they do. I think they do. I'd like to see the beaver lodge. Could be down there. Or at least see the beaver. You can see where they chewed over there. Way over there. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of spying. I don't hear Timothy running anymore. So I'm just wondering if he may be having a problem. So I'm going to walk back and find out. I am quite a ways away from where he was. But it's beautiful here. So anyways, I get the fields that are up there. That's supposed to be 60 acres and it's not. It's actually probably 30, 35 acres. That up there is about 100. There's 84 acres of stubble, and I'll show you that. And I'll show you that, but then there's some grassland down below that I'll be taking off also. So, yeah, I actually, it's definitely well worth the trip up here to get this planted and get it where it needs to be so that I can make some money on it. I know my neighbor's a little bit upset about me being here. Okay, so I'm approaching the upper section, or the upper driveway where it splits off. You can see it's old meadows. It's all overgrown now. I can imagine 50 years ago that this was all clear pasture. There's a lot of dairy up in this area of the world. And whoever lived up here had enough money to actually pave the driveway and put this really cool iron pipe fencing up, or guardrail. So I'm just gonna kind of walk up here and see what I can see. I don't hear Tim again. I don't know where he's at. He could be in the upper section. It's quite a ways up there. Yeah, that's weird. Like they capped it off. A piece there. It's weird. Like somebody needed a piece of pipe, so they took it and capped it off. I mean, that would make sense. It's kind of a shitty fence. I mean, it's okay and everything, but maybe back in the day that was stylish. Oh, I hear him coming again. But I don't know. It looks to me like these are actually supposed to be like that. So it was an actual, oh yeah, there they are. And they filled these with concrete, and that was an actual piece that you could buy. Alright. I'm slightly out of shape, I think. Here's an aluminum gate. So I wonder if somebody hadn't stolen that. So my money is that the house set right up here, which I'm pretty certain, I'm 100% sure it was, and it overlooked everything. Now this is a really cool place to bring a metal detector, especially around these old, what are those, white pine trees. They're not yellow, they're white, they're big too. So, yeah, so here is where the sidewalk ends, as they say. And this had to be where the home was. So pavement, used to see a lot of concrete, but not a lot of pavement. At least in my experiences over the years. But here a road went up that way. But this is where the home used to sit. Because that's what the county does. They come in and they rip the thing down and they bring a bunch of fill in from some other farm instead of just taking from surrounding dirt, and they fill this thing in. That's it. So there's some old firewood and other things. I don't know how much of this I'm even going to be able to use, but here this looks like an old foundation. I get the craziest places here in New Jersey. I mean, there's always an adventure with me when I get out into these new places. Now, whether they dug this, oh no, this had to be an old home site, because there's some concrete in here. There's some old pipe. And probably a cistern or something in here, just as long as I don't jump a bear. We are in bear country here, so I do have to be a little bit more vigilant than I normally would be. Pick up a stick and smack him in the eyeball if he comes at me, but I mean, yeah. So I don't know what the idea in these holes are. Whether that was, yeah, there's concrete and stuff there. This could have been all buildings. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe somewhere someone could tell me a little bit of the history of the Crystal Lake section of the Teetertown Reserve. And there's Sunkissed Soda. I haven't even seen Sunkissed Soda in a long time. Oh, here's an old foundation. Look at that. I knew if I dug around up here long enough I'd find something. Yep. Don't ask me what it's for. This is an old apple tree. Right there, look at that. She's still blooming. Still blossoming, the old gal. Even after she's long since fell over. So what do you suppose this was? I've seen these types of structures before, but I never really knew what the hell they were. I mean, they're hollow block, you know, and I doubt, unless it was a building that was like a lean-to garage or something that they came into from the other side, I don't know. There is some junk down in there. I'd love to find like a 37 Ford sitting in the bushes here. That'd be cool as could be. It would be all rotten, but it would be cool. Anyway, yeah, here we go. I've pretty much determined that it's just a retaining wall that they had built. Somebody dug holes and stuff there. So there's probably just a retaining wall, and at some point some scumbag developer was going to try and develop the property, and they dug those holes there for percolation test and things like that. But we'll walk along this wall here. Now, something like this. Now, if any of you guys are metal detector enthusiasts, you would just go gaga over a wall like this, because you could walk along the edge of the wall, because people have a tendency to do just that. It'd be hard detecting here because there's some stuff. That's cherry right there. Is that cherry? Looks like a cherry. Yep, that's a cherry. Choke cherry tree. Yeah, they would walk along and they'd lose their balance, fall, coins fall out of their pocket, you know, and they'd lose a watch or a wedding band. And this wall came quite a ways, all the way out here. These old trees along the edge here, you know, people would congregate under here. And they used to have what you would call the gathering trees. And gathering trees are, this is from a, what is this? Lightning strike? I would say not. I bet a bear got on that. Just look at the scratches on that thing. And on the other side? No, that ain't a bear. Maybe somebody dropped a tree in there and skinned it up. There's something. Wonder what did that. So this was obviously the yard. There's some more of that piping and stuff. So, but anyways, back to the gathering trees. These were terraces. Oh, there's another road that goes down. So that would split off up the top there, and you would go down right there. And of course, there's all kinds of rocks and stuff. So this place was in pretty well. Oh, look at the forsythia. All that yellow is forsythia. I saw people selling those things like $10 for, or $100 for 10 of those trees, forsythia bushes. I thought it was ridiculous. They almost grow wild here. That a tree toad. You hear him? So anyways, this could almost be a gathering tree. It's usually the oldest tree on the farm. And back, 150 years ago, these so-called gathering trees, or trees, look at the magnolia. I mean, look at that. Isn't that neat? So you're like out in the middle of nowhere. We got cherry trees, we got maples, obviously, and pine trees, and apple tree up there. There's a red maple right there, if you can't see that. And then you get this magnolia tree out in the middle here. That's kind of cool. Forsythia in the middle of nowhere. And what else is there? There's all kinds of stuff. That's just, just old homesteads, they're old homesteads. So, anyways, back to the gathering tree for the 35th time. Back 150 years ago, or 100 years ago, there weren't really that many people here in New Jersey. I mean, they were here, but they were farm kids, and there was no cars, per se. People couldn't afford them anyway. And you would have you'd have a boy that lived on this farm and maybe a girl that lived 2 miles over on another farm. And they would go to church together, and they would meet at the gathering tree for, a picnic lunch or something silly like that. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. Today we have too many, quick devices, like our iPhones and our iPads and our Samsungs and our whatever the heck they are. And people don't put in the effort to a relationship, like walking 2 miles to see their sweetheart, Now, if you said, hey, honey, meet me under the gathering tree at the corner of the old Johnson farm and the the Johnson and the another old name I could think of, the Cool Farm, let's put it that. So you take those, nowadays if you said that to a young couple, they'd be like, get real, man. You can't come to me, I ain't going to you, fuck off. And that kind of sad, if you ask me. And, I'd walk 100 miles for my first girlfriend. She was my wife. I married her, so I was a little bit on the old-fashioned side, but I would walk 100 miles for that woman. I really would have. But, today, it is what it is. So anyhow, I think this was really a sweet place with that house overlooking. There's 3 ponds, 1, 2, 3. There's actually a 4th one on down, but it's so overgrown now that I don't think you can even get into it. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. It's probably like a half an hour video. I'm gonna have to chop it up and put in the highlights of it, but please comment, rate, and subscribe.